Welcome to the Unfiltered podcast, where we explore its journey without constraints or filters. Our mission is to provide hope, inspire resilience, and remind you that every path, no matter how windy, rocky, can lead to growth and enlightenment. Join us as we navigate the uncharted territories of truth to be moved, be inspired, and discover that you're not alone in this unfiltered journey of life. Hi, my name is Danielle. I'm the owner of Aerialist, and I am an Aerialist. We are the birds of the circus. And this is my co-host.
My name is Graham Duval. I'm the owner of Valüd Productions. We are a video marketing agency, help you grow your business with videos. And I am joined by our other co-hosts here today.
Hey everyone, I am Trinity Baker. I am a mindset coach. I own the Trinity Baker LLC, helping everyone discover their true happiness and create that inner peace. And I am more than excited, honored, blessed to pass it over to our guest today.
Well, Trinity, that's a lot of weight on me right out of the gate, but I appreciate all of that. So my name is Rodney Tillotson. I am the founder of My Energy Doctors, and we help businesses and residents in deregulated states save money on their power and natural gas bill by finding the best rate that is available.
Who doesn't want to save money? I mean, all of us here, business owners, not want to save money. So Rodney, thank you so much for joining today. You know what, Rodney, you are like the perfect example of you never know where connections will come from. Connections connect to someone else, connect to someone else, connect to someone else. I met Rodney through, oh goodness, it was another life coach, and he is just amazing. His name is Tom, and I met Tom through another connection, which we all know, Siobhan, and we met Siobhan through BNI. So like BNI has just been this master connector for us. So Rodney, I am super blessed to know you and meet with you and hear a little bit more about your business today.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before the podcast started about what you do, Rodney. I would love for you to explain a little bit more about what it is that you do, because I myself did not even know it was a thing. And for our listeners, I think this would be something that would be very beneficial for them to learn about. You don't mind?
Yeah, no, I don't mind at all. And like I shared with you, Graham, you're in good company. 90% of Mainers, and I know the Maine accent's probably throwing people off right now. So it's deep Southern Maine. 90% of residents in Maine either don't know it's a thing or don't understand it or don't trust it. But there's 18 states, 15 fully deregulated markets in the United States. And if you took an arc and kind of started at Virginia and took a little swoop up to Ohio, you're going to hit, I think, 13 of the 15 fully deregulated markets. So all of the Northeast, minus our good friends in Vermont. Vermont is Vermont, so we let them do their thing. They are not deregulated, but everybody else is. So just pick a state. Fundamentally, what it means is that we, as residents or businesses in the state that's deregulated, we get to pick who provides our power and our natural gas. It's like the gas station analogy I gave earlier. You can go to any gas station you want to and give them your business. So in a deregulated market, you can pick who your supplier is, pick the rate, and pick the term that you want to lock that rate in at. So the larger user you are, typically the lower the rate. But there's other little nuances that I go over with my clients. But Trinity, you said who doesn't want to save money? I tell you, you would be shocked at the number. But either they don't want to save money, which I really don't think that's it. It's more of a misunderstanding of what I do and basically what a energy broker does. So I really try to bring that in a very simplistic format. I get on a Zoom call much like this and just explaining the process to them. A couple questions that I'm typically asked are, do I have to use you? They don't. They do not have to use me. And, how do I get paid? That's usually number one, like how everybody's really interested in how I get paid. So, I'm very upfront with them. My clients don't owe me any money. Everything, I receive my compensation from the supplier. So it's much like, I'm bringing those kilowatts and that revenue to a specific supplier. So I'm bringing them the business that they normally would not have received. So they compensate me for that. So any savings the client sees when I spreadsheet it out for them, they get all of that. And then the last one that I've been asked the last couple of times is what makes me different. And honestly, what makes me different is if you call, I'm going to answer your phone call. We're going to get, I like to do things in person, but I can work, across the country. So I typically do a lot of business on Zoom. But I'll be honest with you. I've told people before, don't do anything different. You're doing what I do and making a change is not a good thing for you. And it kind of throws them off base a little bit. So, that's probably way more. That's a long answer to a short question, Graham.
No, that's amazing. I am appreciative of you sharing that for our listeners, and hopefully that can decrease that 90% just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I signed up as like just a residential user and saw a significant decrease in my electricity. So just shout out there. I think that was super cool. Super cool. Danielle, how was your holidays?
Oh, the holidays. Yeah, that was well.
Yeah. That happened.
Yeah, no, I like nearly forgot. The kids were like, so why don't we have school? I was like, oh, yeah, we have Thanksgiving. So take a shower. We're going.
Yeah, brush your teeth. Put on some.
I don't know. It's just kind of like I've been so busy the last 2 months that for me, the holidays almost seem like so minimal in comparison to some of the events that I've had. So it's interesting that it kind of like went under my radar. But I also wasn't cooking. So that's just a privilege of forgetting. But my uncle made this really great green bean casserole, which was a new dish I had never had before.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I won't eat bacon. Very, very, very random, will I? And that was just worth it.
So I have made green bean casserole. Green bean casserole has been my dish to make for 14 years straight now.
You should make me one.
And every single year I make it a little bit different. So this year we made it a little bit, or I made it a little bit different. It was good. Hey, I have a question. I think that this is a really important question for us all as we're business owners, but very different business owners. How do you prioritize your family and make that family time as far as time management within your businesses, especially like holiday season? And I asked this question because like I was intentional to taking some time off last week and had to move like all of the meetings that would normally fit into 6 days into 3 days, which was like really crazy. So I have that question for you guys.
Rodney, what's your thoughts on this question?
Well, that's the question of the ages, work-life balance. And I follow a gentleman on LinkedIn. I'm not a big follower person because I think everybody has their own journey. But I do believe in there's some fundamentally good advice that, everybody should take. So, his very quick spin on this is, no, it shouldn't be work-life balance. It should be life-work balance, right? Trinity gave me the thumbs up, the finger that I'm on to something here. And I agree with that, because I'm fairly new to the entrepreneurial world. And, I was in the military for quite a few years and then, a couple decades in corporate America. They want it to be a work-life balance. So, if you're going to go through this rocky road, that we are on and we're traveling here, make that a priority one. Spend that immediately to life work. Enjoy the time. Now, you got to work hard. We all know this. You can work hard, be very intentional about your work, because it's not, I used to tell people this all the time. Being at work does not mean that you're working, right? Being at work does not mean you're working. Be productive. So I can be hyper productive in 5 hours. And then if I want to go work out or I just want to call it a day and I feel good about where I am in my business, guess what? That's my business in two levels. It's my business and it's my business. So I get to do what I want to do. So that's kind of where I stand on it.
That's a great point. Do you mind if I ask who that person was that said that?
Justin Welsh,
Okay.
W-E-L-S-H.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like that. It's definitely something I struggle with as far as like taking that time. Just like I got such big aspirations of where I want to take this. It's like, man, sometimes I want to, some things need to take a back burner as far as like sacrifices for me to be able to get to where I want to go. And I definitely take the time to enjoy every moment and like be in the present. But I will say that I'm guilty of like sometimes not taking enough time, because I'm like, okay, if I do this hard work on the front end and like working at reaching my goals, it'll give me more time on the back end to, sipping drinks in a straw on the beach, you know what I mean? Kind of vibe, so
Yeah,
I will say.
Yeah, the thing with that, Graham, is that because I'm the same way, brother. I'm exactly the same way. I am a 0 to 100 kind of guy, and I got to stay at 100 miles an hour until I reach my destination. Here's the problem: you're never going to reach that destination, right? I've got two daughters, and so one's 23 and one's 18. One's in law school, one's in college. Super smart gals, a lot of way smarter than their dad. They must get it from their mom. Very caring individuals. So they want to do something good in the world. So here's what I've told them, because I'm giving them advice that I wish somebody would have given me when I was their age. Don't chase a dollar, because here's the problem: you're gonna catch it, and you're gonna wish it was 2, and then you're gonna catch 2, and you're gonna wish it was 5. Because I set goals in my life way early. If I only had X, and then X turned into 2X, and then X turned into 5X, then I had way more than I thought I ever would have. And I'm like, if I just had just a little bit more, right?
Still chasing. Always that race.
I totally agree. And for me, it's not so much the dollar amount. It's like business as far as like systems and processes for me anyway. Like, okay, my goal is to be at a place in business where I can remove myself from the business more, so that it's more running as its own thing. And like, that's my goal as far as like, okay, when I hit that point, it'll be a little bit easier to, and this is all just talk here, because I definitely take time to do things and spend stuff with my family and all this good stuff. But like, in real talk, like, I'm definitely guilty of not spending as much as maybe I probably could, so.
It'd be like Trinity and Planet. I have a totally different approach. So someone a couple months ago was like, "Oh, what do you do for fun?" And I was like, "My life is fun."
Exactly.
My kids go to work. My daughter snuggled with me as my junior aerialist performed yesterday at a basketball game. That was work.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like they go with me to work, right? I'm a single mom of 2, so I very much am living that stereotype, just because it's kind of its own matrix, right? And so they come with me a lot, but that's why I didn't stay in the corporate world that was comfy, because I couldn't be a mom too. So being a mom too literally gave me the courage that I don't think I had. No, gave me the courage to be an entrepreneur again, because I was a traveling aerialist before my children. And the idea of being a mom, I went to TD Bank and American Express, and I was promoted very quickly and did really well. And but like, you can miss a day, and that's like, who else is gonna rock a baby with a fever besides their mom? it doesn't go down like that. I'm sorry. And then COVID happened. So it was just like, to be a good mom, I decided to be an entrepreneur. It's kind of like literally like how it has happened.
I love that statement. To be a good mom, I became an entrepreneur. I learned how to be a good mom through entrepreneur, I think. Looking back, one of my biggest, no regrets, always a lesson. One of my biggest lessons from something that I look back and I really don't love about my son's childhood is how much a daycare and a babysitter's raised him. And so I feel like I'm constantly making up for that, right? Like after I pick him up from school, I pick him up, I drop him off. After I pick him up from school, I clear out an hour every single day of my calendar to make sure we go outside and do something, make sure we play board games. We're doing something together before he goes back to that electronic, which it's just
freaking amen on that.
Right. That's a whole nother topic.
Electronic.
But you know what? One of the biggest things I did when I first started this journey was I got a time tracker app. And I literally tracked every single minute that I was awake because I kept feeling like I was working. And really, the reality was my brain was working. I wasn't actually working. Like Rodney said, like, are you really working when you're...
I feel like that's where I'm at in life, why I took on to be a president. I knew that something in me wasn't necessarily working the business side of things as fluent as I needed to. And in order to do that, so this is what it was. One day I was cleaning my house and I looked at the clock and it was 11:30 on a Tuesday. And I was like, should I be working? Why am I cleaning my, I don't know. It was just it was an epiphany. And then next thing you know, you're cleaning your radiators. And, so I had to catch myself as an entrepreneur and be like, no, I still have to be responsible for, other time frames.
Yeah. Life doesn't stop.
No.
There's no boss to be like, Danielle, you should be cleaning those Wednesday, right? No one will tell us that. So we have to catch ourselves on a lot of these things, or that's where businesses fail. Can't catch ourselves, right? Anyone has the skills to run their own business. Anyone can be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
But it's realizing what skills you got to hone in on and make really great to run your own business.
Or to delegate. So I'm kind of with Graham on right now, I just feel like I'm pushing a little harder to be able to delegate. Because I feel like my business, my business is about to be 4. That means I've put in a lot of hard work. And I just feel like I'm at that place where, I can really bring other people with me and propel forward. And I just right there.
Right.
And to be able to delegate some things and then it'd be more efficient in general. But I think that's what makes the entrepreneur journey so magical is we all understand what we did those first few years to make it all possible.
Well, I'll jump in here on this point. So I have a couple of businesses, but my energy doctors is my main focus, and I've got 2 other projects in the work. One's gonna hopefully launch in January, a content-driven business, and then another one that another partner and myself are working to purchase. Going to be a tangible product, and that business has tremendous potential. And I heard Graham say it, it's about scale, right? So you guys have scale, you want to scale up your business. And this entity, if you will, this opportunity is scalable, but there's the fear. It's the fear of releasing that control.
Yeah, preach it.
Because delegation, and I've lived this world for decades at this point in my life, and the gray hair that you guys can see should show that, right? At least it's all still there. That's what I keep saying. But delegation is release, right, in and of itself, right? It's releasing and letting go of the control. Danielle, 4 years. Graham, I'm sure you have several years under your belt as well. But to walk away, right? To walk away and not show up at X event, Danielle, because you delegated that to somebody else. It's the same thing that keeps people from going into business. And then it's that initial hurdle, which is not a small hurdle. It's more like a Grand Canyon chasm. Not a small crack. It's a Grand Canyon. And that leap is fear. It's fear of what if I go out on my own. So everybody here has overcome that. The next big one is, what if I let go a little bit of that control?
Oh, it's true, right? We built it, and then we have to kind of like back away to let it keep growing.
Yes.
I mean, that's like parenthood.
Yeah,
It is.
it is 100%. And listen, Grant was talking like the time management stuff earlier, and Graham was like the systems and the operations. And I just sit here and I'm like, oh, F systems.
I know. Take it away.
Operation. I don't even want to talk about that. And here's the mindset there is, I know why I don't want to talk about it, because it's control. It's another person taking control, but I'm allowing a system to take control of a business that I've built that is so emotionally connected to everyone that's in it and me and everything I do. Like, there was a point where I do a free training. I'm gonna tell you, this free training is a text message every morning and continuous text messages to the people that are in there. I realize that I need a system for that so that it can be like, tangible, continuing. And I didn't want to do it because I'm like, well, that's not me. I don't want some system sending a message. Even that control. Sometimes it's not even like this full-time employee or part-time employee you're hiring for your business. Sometimes it's literally letting the systems take control. That's a big one.
Trinity, what you described is pivots into what Graham described. He said it's not really about the money. What he's searching for is that freedom, right? The freedom to sit on the beach, have a smoke, have a cocktail, basically do what we want. That's really what we're all searching for in life, is the freedom to do what we want to do and be happy while we're doing it. And Trinity, what I used to tell people when I was in corporate America is this: because systems work. You have three things in a business: people, processes and systems, and equipment. That's it. That is your business. And if you're having problems, find where the breakdown is, because it's only in one of those three areas. But the best...
Say that again. You said system, equipment, and what?
People.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
So people, processes and systems, or we just go people, processes, and equipment. But here's the catch. You can have the best people in the world, or scratch it, the best equipment in the world. Like, I'll be brand new, the best processes in the world. But if you don't have the right people running the processes and run the equipment, it will fail 100% of the time.
Totally.
What I tried to get people to understand is, all right, the equipment is equipment. We got what we got. You're the people, right? Whoever you are, you're the people. What I wanted to create was a system and process that, Trinity, to your point, when I pulled myself out of it, Graham, when I'm on the beach, brother, Danielle, when you're kissing and hugging on the kiddos, right?
I love them.
We're still making money.
Yes.
We're still making money, but that we have created will replicate itself the way we want it to, right? Because we create other individuals that think and act like we do.
Totally. That's
Honestly, interpersonal leadership skills was my favorite class in college. In fact, I got 104 because I wrote extra paper to prove a point. But it is literally the thing I access the most. And I'm an aerialist. Like, you wouldn't even assume that, right? You'd assume it to be equipment or a physical ability, right? But it's actually, now that I'm the leader of, like, I'm a business owner, it's not that at all. It's managing the people, keeping a positive environment so people feel comfortable to work out. Parents of children, yeah, it's its own thing. Or people like get envious of me, right? And I'm running the ship. If you leave me weak, who's running the ship? Like, I've had to stick up for myself. Like, you can't like put that energy on me because I got to manage. So then all of these other girls won't have an opportunity. Right. So that was like, oh, that was a close friend too. So yeah, interpersonal skills, like that is by far like the thing I have to access the most, and I'm an athlete.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I think you summed that up wonderfully, Rodney. That is that goal of like having like everything that everybody's touched on so far, of like getting to that point where it's like, okay, it's still replicating, still making money. It doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to sustain, but like it's doing its thing with the people, with the equipment, with the processes, but I don't necessarily have to be directly there in the middle of it. You know what I mean? And it goes right back to like what you were saying, Danielle, is like, I feel the same way. When I go to film someone or like working with a client, I don't even consider it working. You know, I'm like, how am I getting paid to do what I do? It just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, I love what I do and I'm still going to do it. But in the end, it still is like what you were saying, Rodney. I want it to be that like thing that is doing its thing. So I can do a side project film thing it may not necessarily be as lucrative as something else that is actually for the business. It's, you know, that freedom. It really does come down to that freedom.
Here's another thing for me personally, and I know Danielle is gonna nod on this one here, is and Trinity as well. I assume we want to build something, or at least, you know, I won't speak for myself here. I want to build something because I have a wife of 30 years. My bride, we celebrated 30. We're 30 years plus at this point, right? Yay! She put up with me for that long. I don't know how, but she did it. So 30 years, you know, two daughters, you know, little pooch. She's a girl as well, so I'm surrounded by ladies, which is always nice. If I'm gone, not if, but when I am gone, right? I want to have something that I can pass down to them, whether they want to do it or not. That's entirely up to them. But I wanted something that is going to provide, especially for my wife, right? As we've lived this journey for 3 decades plus. She's been a stay-at-home mom. We've always lived well below our means to provide for that. So, you know, my goal is, especially in this entrepreneurial side of things, is, right, the checks don't come, right, if I'm not working, yeah, right, whatever working looks like, but if I'm not out there making it happen, but then if I'm not here, right, guys and gals, who's going to do it then? So I want to scale this thing up. I want to jump that Grand Canyon as fast as I can, because I've always been very intentional about, I want to and always have surrounded myself, which this is going to be a low bar, with people smarter than myself, right? I'm going to say way smarter than me. I'm never the smartest person in the room. Maybe if I'm by myself, and that's a maybe at that point. But I want to surround myself with people that get it, that's going to work hard, be intentional about what they're doing, and then, especially with my own business, is going to feel the passion that I feel. So if I'm not there, right, on a positive note, I'm on the beach or I'm doing what I'm doing, it's going to continue to run and going to mainly continue to provide the life that I want to provide for my family.
Yeah, you make a really good point. Like, not even just as business owners, but in life in general. I love the, like, I'm never the smartest person in the room, because it's like, we have to be so intentional with that. The first thing I do when I take on a new client, we do a discovery call. One of the questions I ask is like, who are the people around you? We have to identify the people around us at all times. We should know this. The people around us, what they're providing to us and what we're providing to them. And we have to be good at recognizing when that is off. And when that is off, it's a fix it or ditch it. And I say that with all love, in the most loving thing in the entire world, because I realize that these people are family and friends. But Danielle, we've had this conversation before of like, just because you're family doesn't mean I need to talk to you every day. I will see you, talk to you once a month. We will do our family. I love you, blah, blah, blah. But those people who do not serve you and you do not serve them, when you're on different levels, we have to recognize you're on different levels.
I think something that Rodney said about leaving something for, his wife, I think of it as a little bit more about you provided an example for your daughter to be a lawyer, if I'm being honest. So you're already successful. So that's kind of what I'm doing is I'm providing and showing an unpassed, unfiltered way through life so they think their own things are possible. Right. And creating that path. And much like, leading your clients with, a new mindset, it's really like showing people a new path, our path, and that it's possible in their own way.
In every way, literally every way, whether it be teaching our kids that you can own your own business or teaching your kids self-worth so that they, find the people in their lives that meet them, or teaching them to find the skills that make them enjoy life. Like you can go get a job, a career that provides you the happiness that we're seeing in our businesses. You don't necessarily have to be a business owner, right? But I think what I'm teaching my kid and my kiddo is that I don't care what you want to be and what you want to do. The point is that it's happy and it's providing for you. I want him to be happy and not spend those 10, 20, 30 years in unhappy corporate America to figure that out. Like if I could just teach him this now and that's the only thing he gets from me, I will be so happy about that.
Sure.
What I've told my girls for years is, and now they're plenty old enough to understand it, and and I've missed a lot of stuff. I mean, and being in the military, and then being in corporate America, which sometimes I wonder which one's more wants more out of you. Jesus,
I thought that when you said it. So when you said I was in the military, there was corporate America, my mind literally went, oh, the same thing. All right.
Hey, Danielle, hey, let me tell you something, girl. Corporate America probably sucked more out of my life than the military did. It's awful, man. You kind of know what you're getting yourself into in the military. You're like, okay, right. Here it is.
Real customer service places, they teach you a mental game, but they don't teach you how to do it for yourself. Right? So American Express is incredible. I feel honored that I was trained under their structure, but it only gave me the confidence to do it for myself, because a lot of it is like very much military training, especially the mental, and I don't want to use the word manipulating, but it kind of fits the box. Like I don't know how to explain that. To guide individuals to do as you please them to do. Well,
I love that. That's like what I try to do all the time with videos.
And I'm positive you have a positive intent.
Most definitely.
Express does too, right? Like they even I'm not insulting that brand at all. Actually, it was probably my favorite of all my corporate jobs. But what I mean is it was very intentional thinking, and to be taught those skills in such a way that like wasn't even taught in like a school setting or to benefit for myself is where it's kind of funny. Like,
I was one of my first nursing jobs, and this is not even just corporate America, right? Because I wouldn't consider like the nursing career like corporate America. I think they have a lot of similar structures in a way.
I think it's the same thing.
It is the same thing, yes. One of my first nursing jobs, literally, I remember them telling me, you can be successful if you stay here. And I was like, wow, I don't know. I want to be here for 50 more years. Like, I don't think I want to walk into this place 5 days a week for 50 years. And so some of them will literally come out and tell you, you cannot be successful if you're not here with us. And if you don't know or don't have the confidence and the strength and resilience to say, hell no, you're there for 50 years.
Oh, I was just going to make a joke about how that's a sign of bad dating too. When they're like, oh, you can't be anywhere else but here. Like, I'm the only man that's going to love you as XYZ. That's usually what it's like. I'm going to flag.
No, I know what that's called because my girl, that's called gaslighting. Now,
New one. I didn't know what that was when I was like younger.
we have raised our girls collectively to be very strong personalities. Of course, now all that's coming back on me because they're girl bossing all over the place. And no, Dad, that's, you can't say that. You can't sound like
Girl bossing everywhere.
everywhere. So I got two things. One, so Danielle, what you described is funny because Trinity and I were just talking about this earlier, is corporate America does an amazing job. And one of the companies that I worked for, I would say they were world class. It sounds like maybe American Express was world class at this. They'll basically gaslight you. You just don't know you're being gaslit. That the reason you are where you are, the reason you make as much money as you make, the reason you're successful, right? I'm air quoting here, whatever success looks like, is because you work for fill in the blank company. And the really good ones have a lot. I mean, they're like, our tenure with people is 20 years. So now, my mindset now is you have gaslit the shit out of these people for 20 years, right? You have convinced them that the only reason they can do what they do is because of you as a company. Knowing, like I use the Fortune 500 as a great example. So one of the companies I work for is a Fortune 500 company. They just thought that was the best thing ever. And, but they had told you that you would only be successful in a, very low key, like I said, gaslighting kind of way. There's 499 other companies on the Fortune 500, right? This is not Bracer. It's just simple math. You're one company of 500. So there's at least 499 other companies that are as good as you, right? Unless you're Fortune 1, but there's still 499 others that, rank up against you. So, they do a real good job, and Trinity used the word of kind of infecting you with this disease. You won't be as good. Danielle, to your point, the man's telling you you'll never be worth anything if you ever leave me. It's the same thing. It's a bad date, except it turns into a 20-year, 30-year, 40, 50-year marriage. And before you know it, you're like, Judas Priest, man, my entire life just went away. I'm retired. I thought I was going to get a gold watch. I got a, I got a sundial, and I don't know what happened. So here's what I've told my girls is, and I've told a lot of people this. If you want to know if you're in the right spot and you're going to be happy, when you go to bed Sunday evening, if you don't dread waking up Monday because you're going to have to go into X, you're probably in a pretty good spot.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. That comes right back around to like what you were saying, Danielle, about working. It's the same thing. Like, I don't feel like I get paid to go to work. It's fun, That's a similar vibe.
I don't know why I get paid.
Yeah, do what you love,
Yeah.
And if that's really, if you can take the time and look deep and be like, I really do love being here, and you're in a corporate job or whatever, and like you said, Rodney, you're like, okay, I don't dread going to work Monday morning, and I really do enjoy what I do. Then, like you said, you're doing something right, But if you're kidding yourself and there's some sort of like lying to yourself and you're like, I love what I do, but there's that little bit of like dread going in Monday morning, you may want to take another look at what's going on. And hopefully some of these insights will help guide that.
For sure. Oh, this was an amazing episode.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being our guest here today. Remind us who you are and what you do.
Where we can find you online.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rodney Tillotson with My Energy Doctors. You can just simply go to the great World Wide Web at My Energy Doctors with an S, all one word.com, and you'll land on our page. And there's a little information thing where you can just say, hey, give me a call, and I'll give you a call. So yeah, and I will help you save money on your power and natural gas.
I appreciate you joining us here today, Rodney. For all our listeners, definitely go check him out on online. My name is Graham Duval, owner of Valüd Productions. You can find me online, all the major social platforms at Valüd Productions, VALUD Productions, all one word, and .com. I'd love to connect with anybody looking to grow their business with video. And I'm joined here with my wonderful co-host.
Hey everyone, Trinity Baker, mindset coach. You can find me on my website, which is www.thetrinitybaker.com. But I am also on all of the major social media platforms as well. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I post some inspiring, motivating videos. That is something that I love to do. Just spread a little bit of positivity, and you can find me at The Trinity Baker. And I am joined here with the beautiful
Danielle Hirsh. I am the owner of Aerial Jade. I am on most social media platforms, either Aerial Jade or Aerial Jade Art, as I am too an artist. In fact, I identify with that the most, but I am an aerialist. Aerialjade.com is the best way to reach me, though, as we can live chat. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the Unfiltered Path podcast with myself, Trinity, and Graham, and we look forward to hearing and seeing from you guys next week.